2012, she placed first. After that, she traveled with the Brave New Voices competition, which was in California. Her high school classmates voted her the most likely to change the world, and she gave their commencement speech in 2012. In 2013, she won a spot on the Cleveland Lake Effect Poetry Adult Slam and competed at the National Poetry Slam in Boston. That same year, she began studying at the College of Worcester, where she majors in political science and religious studies. Caira founded and coaches Worcester's first slam team, No I Slam, and has just returned from Ghana, where she studied Indigenous performance art. Today, Caira will be talking about the power of self-love. Caira Lee.
Bring it, bring it, bring it!
When the producers called and asked me to do a TEDx talk, I thought to myself, Christ, I don't even have an undergraduate degree yet. I was overwhelmed with this feeling that I am utterly unqualified to be talking to the world in this way. But that's stupid because I am totally qualified. And that gets into what I'm talking about today. The power of self-love and self-esteem. Yes. Because there are things I know to be true, like if I could talk to my 15-year-old self, hover above that girl child and whisper her sentiments from my crystalline future, if I could one day master the art of time travel, I would first bestow upon myself the privilege of getting to know myself. At 15 years old, I would say, hey, I really like that time you wrote me that poem about roses, which was really about domestic violence and all that honesty you mustered up from the mustard seed in your guts, moving mountains and whatnot, with all that courage. And I really like that time we drew our mother a son on Mother's Day, even though she'd been dead 3 years by then. I really have a lot of respect for you. Smile senseless, ponytail reckless, heart 2-karat gold. Even when the world tried to spin us 3 shades of gray, you were all that in a bag of chips. Like the us lady who would sit up there on a billboard in Baltimore with her hand buried in a bag of chips, getting proposed to by a stick man with one eye. If I could go back there, I would go back there and tell her the 5 years approaching will require our soul grow hawk-like. We're gonna get bored, get really depressed, love ourselves, buckle down, get buck, love men whose hands disappear like Michael Jackson, and remember the time. Remember the time? That was crazy. If I could vibrate the jail cells and my skin cells to a frequency so quick I slip back into 2010, I say again, I really have a lot of respect for you. Swiftness. Because time waits for no colored girl. Deadlines approach quick like freight trains, and you always on time. I spit myself pickup lines from the sky so that she knew someone wanted her, but she wouldn't know why. Like, hey girl, do you live in a cornfield? Because I'm stalking you. or did you read Dr. Seuss as a kid? Because rain, eggs, and damn, they know soul making like when you come back to save you. Scoop, you, soup, whispers blessings into your sweet aura. This poem isn't about flattery. It is about recognition. I see you smiling at black men on corners because you know the world owes them 400 years of jubilation. I see you, teeth like reformation, gleaming. No fool's gold to just struggle that decided to not kill itself, yet move on and perhaps become God. Girl, I see you in the corner of the F train, stopping, bad butterbone beignet and beneficence. I wish on you, like Harriet Polaris. I wish because I practice this thing called radical self-love. What is radical self-love? Well, to Sonia Renee Taylor and her organization, The Body is Not an Apology, radical self-love is the lifelong commitment to the belief that your body, size, race, sexual orientation are assets that don't need fixing, yet are advantages that you should build your life around and capitalize on it. To me, it's all of those things, but it's also looking in the mirror once a week and saying, I am the most important person in the world to me. I accept that person. I admire that person, and I will do everything in my power to see that person's dreams come true. And it sounds simple, but ask yourself, when's the last time you said it? Can you say it? I've worked with performers who, before working with me, couldn't even look themselves in the mirror, dodging their own reflections. And why was it so hard? Why is it hard to say these things to ourselves? Well, simply, it is because we don't believe it. It's a gross generalization, but I would say that today, as Americans, the people in this room, most people sitting in these chairs, do not believe in themselves. To be grander than anything we are today. We're not dreaming of a future where we are powerful, more peaceful, more happy. We think it's not for us, and that is a problem. This is my mom. She died when I was 14 from alcoholism. I moved to Shaker, 10th grade, and I developed an eating disorder, binge eating. And when I asked myself, how did I get through all of that as a successful person? It is literally because through it all, I had this conception in my mind that I was good enough. I was cool. My entire being was God's hot topic, and anyone who didn't agree with that was whack. You were irrelevant to me if you didn't think that I was good enough. When you do that, when you look the world in the face like you have a right to be here, you have attacked the entire power structure of the Western world. And they will call you egotistical, but it is a lie. They're wrong. Keeping that voice alive saved my life because it inspired curiosity about myself. And how did I not succeed when I was curious about my purpose and my limits? And that is the formula. If your kids are failing, it is because you are spending too much time pressing the outside world into them instead of pushing what is inside of them to the outside world, and they can feel that. Wow. And they don't like that.
Truth.
Can I write a book? Can I do a TED Talk? Can I go to college? Once you ask about self-love and self-esteem, these questions quickly become statements. I can write a book. I did that when I was 19. I can do a TED Talk. I kind of do that today. I can do these things. I can survive depression. I did that yesterday. But people who never begin to ask themselves these questions, they don't even care about themselves. Well, what does caring about yourself mean? As a student, it means knowing deep down in your heart that you are more important than any assignment your teacher can give you. And that anything your teacher can do for you, you can do for yourself better. And they know that, but you don't, and that's a problem. They know that you have just as much power in the classroom as they do, but you don't, and that's the problem. And as a teacher, what is radical self-love? It is believing deep down in your heart that you are more important than any limitation the administration can put on you. More important meaning you have to make sacrifices to see your vision of what a perfect classroom should look like materialize. You are more important than the restrictions put on you by the state of Ohio to perform. And you have to know that radically, or we are lost. When you do not act on your self-esteem, when you do not act on your self-esteem, you aren't loving yourself, and when you aren't loving yourself, yourself, your family, and life. So here are 4 things you can do to reap the fruits of radical self-love. 1, what's your thing? Find that thing that you can do for hours and lose yourself in that skill that when you're doing it, you feel cool, productive, important, challenged. There's a quote by Howard Thurman. It goes, do not ask what the world needs. Ask what makes me come alive and do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. So find your thing, do it, copious amounts of hours, become the best who has ever done it. That is a form of self-love too. If you're Black, know your history. Why? Because your Blackness is at the top of the list of the things that the United States has and will continue to use and misconstrue in order to get you to dislike yourself, and that's real. You need to know that there's another way of being in the world, alternative ways of living other than the way you've been living. If you study Black history, you will know that. Kanye West said, I make Black history every day. I don't read them, Mom. But it's Black history, I'm sorry. Mother, may I have a little room to breathe. Meat clings to its hip bones, big bodies and booties and lips and noses. Black culture knows it's different and is very self-conscious. Earned the lowest SAT scores out of all the cultures for the 10th year in a row. Black culture can't get with the program. So Black culture says, forget the program. We've been multitasking since conception. Chop the wood, assemble the chariots, swing low, double dutch with double consciousness, you ain't know. Black culture sold the buttons down Miss Mary Max's back. You better ask somebody, we spiritual like that. Once a candlelight, visual, every day. For 14-year-old body beaten beyond recognition, shot though already dead and thrown into the Tallahatchie River for a whistle at a white female. Which is a candlelight visual for Trayvon Martin every day. Troy Davis every day. Mike Brown every day. Tamir Rice every day. We spiritual like that. But lately been lacking leadership. Want our leadership back. El Shabazz, Medgar Evers, Dr. King, Michael Jackson. Direct and indirect assassination. Black boys being 77% of the NBA, only 12% of the nation. Black culture bees in the trap and in the White House, all upside Michelle's head, bellowing, this is my jam. So much jamming, pressing, pushing, cramming, squeezing glue between kinky and yucky hair, broke, and can't afford to be sad. So Black culture is continuously and contagiously joyous about life. Thank you. First step to the benefits of radical self-love. Police the people in your head. There's a quote, police the people in your head. There's a quote that goes, if you talk to your friends the way you talk to yourself, they probably won't be your friends anymore. Because our heads are filled with thoughts from other people that we let in and simmer and grow, and it's not true most of the things, but we let it infest us. We have to start policing the people in our heads. The way I do it is by writing and keeping these writings in my view at all times. This is my dorm room in college. These are things on my wall. You heard it. When I got the call, I thought to myself, I am totally unqualified and I am not good enough. But I had to make the self-love step and say, I am good enough. My voice matters. My life matters. And we all know it's true. I know It's hard to believe, but it is true. And the fourth step is most important. It's hard to do, but it is, when it's hard to do, the most important to do, and that is give self-love to others. That means when you're here and you hear someone around you say something like, man, I would apply to that, but I would do that, but I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough. It is your responsibility to say, yo, stop that. You can't say that type of stuff about yourself. This dedication around self-love is not just about ourselves. It's about not letting weakness in your circle at any time. Kendrick Lamar, rapper, musical artist, poet, writer, wrote a song and debuted 6 months ago called I. Has anyone ever heard of I? Yes. That's, and I was in Africa when I heard it, I. I want us to read the lyrics of I together. So these are the lyrics. The ones in green are yours, the ones in black are mine. When I point to you, I want you to say the lyrics, okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I love myself.
The world is a devil with big guns and picket signs.
I love myself.
But it can do what it wants whenever it wants. I don't mind.
I love myself.
Dreams are reality's piece. I blow steam in the face of the beast. The sky can fall down, the wind can cry, now the strong in me will still smile.
I love myself.
That song is so important because it shows that Kendrick knew something was so wrong in his world, our world, that he needed to release a song declaring nothing other than, I love myself. That's weird, but it's because he knows there's a direct connection between the condition of the outside world and the condition of our self-esteem. And we know it to be true when the classroom, the kid comes in, isn't curious, the student, teacher comes in and sees the kid isn't curious, they lose their self-esteem and lose faith in the kid loses self-esteem when you have a classroom full of stagnation, resentment, and low self-esteem and not learning. And I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying that the world outside is ugly because you have low self-esteem. If you fix yourself, the world will magically become better. But I am saying a huge part of fixing things is for all of us to get off of our butts and go against the grain. And you cannot muster the power to go against the grain unless you truly believe that that would be powerful. I'm here today to tell you that your voice matters, your life matters, and I know it's hard. When someone's trying to hand you this self-admiration, you don't know what to do with it because your whole life you've been told that you're only as good as what you can produce for someone else, but you cannot accept that. You are better than that. So, when Ted called me and he tried to hand me my self-admiration, I said, I don't know what to do with this, but then I took it, and I'm not going to give it back. I'm going to reap the benefits of it, because there's this thing when you think highly of yourself, it really gets people into you for some reason. And it is because there's a subtle, subconscious reminder to them that it is okay for them to love themselves just the way that they are. Someone has to start it, so I'm here, and I will